Yeah.
It's very basic.
Okay, so you ready? Okay, and your time starts now.
Okay, so for a long time, this was our favourite word in IT, right? And we're often regarded as like the department of no to pretty much all of the business. Not because we're jerks, but because we've got to try and protect things, right? So we try and help the business protect them from themselves. So we sort of moved along to this. We said, okay, well, you can have that feature, but I need resources, or you're going to have to go to market for it. Going to market for is my favorite response to okay, but. So we'd say, okay, but. Yes, business, you can have that. This isn't just like a work thing, right? This is like with my wife and kids. Okay, we can do that, but then I need to do this. And so this is one of the things we're trying to protect. When we do this at a personal level, you're trying to protect your time. We're all super busy, which is why we've got to do these 5-minute bloody things. When someone comes in and asks you for something else, it's really easy to say no because you're trying to protect your time. The other thing, particularly if you're a leader of staff or a manager, or you've put a lot of effort into a particularly big idea that you're trying to advance, or you're just trying to get your kids out of the way, is protecting your ego. My 8-year-old proved me wrong about the difference between translucent and something else the other day. It was weird. The second, and the last thing is the flow of work. So, you know, you get in a real good groove. There's an unpronounceable Polish psychotherapist who came with this idea of flow. Really, really cool idea. When you get in a groove and someone comes and interrupts, the answer is going to be no because you're doing stuff. And all that does is push stuff downstream. Because when people come and ask you for things, or they're offering an opinion, or they want your advice, when you say no, it doesn't just leave their head, right? It sticks around, and people have got to do this elsewhere, and they'll find a way to. I like this one. This is my favorite slide. We're all experts in something, we're all really good at something, and that means we have an obligation to advise, we have an obligation to help the people around us get better. So if you say no, you're failing on that obligation. You can be a principal, consultant, or whatever, or a dad or a mum, that's your job. So what's saying yes and, right? You might still be trying to say we can't do the thing you want to do. Saying yes and helps you to hear the person that's asking you. You actually get to sit there and listen. Right? There's a difference between hearing people and waiting for your turn to speak. It forces you to empathize. And yesterday there was a presentation, one of the guys mentioned machine empathy when you're running up and killing cloud servers and stuff. I like the idea of context empathy when someone's trying to come and ask you a question or take some of your time away, understanding why they're doing that. Moving from no to yes and isn't perfect, and it won't work every time, but if you can start to do it, you start to get to shift you start to shift your language, and that shifts your thinking. If you go to yes and, if you have to look for a reason to say no to stuff, shifting your language shifts your thinking. I stole Cherry's slide and I just put it sideways, so now it's like, boom, totally different. Asking yes and gets you to why people are asking you for stuff, not just what they're asking you for. That builds your context and empathy. You get a way better understanding of why people are trying to come and take your precious time away from you, and you can stop blocking things. This is sort of related to obligation to advise, right? Yes and doesn't mean you're going to say no to everything, and it doesn't mean you're going to say yes to everything, but you help improve the condition of the other person. You help stop blocking what they're trying to bring you and start, I guess, helping them learn. It's harder because it means you have to evaluate everything. Like I've got 3 boys, 4, 6, and 8. I say no a lot, right? And so it's really hard to keep trying to evaluate it takes a lot of energy. Yeah, made that 15-second stretch out. That was the long one. It takes a lot of energy. It's really hard, and you can't do this all the time, right? You can't do this with everything. Sometimes you're not going to get an ice cream in bed, no matter how much you ask your wife. So you're not going to evaluate what she gives you. This is something I'm really bad at, right? Anybody who's worked with me knows that I tend to half-ass things and go into it and go, oh, that's crazy, Seeber, I'm being agile, I'll just redo it again and get the loops. What yes and helps people do is measure twice and cut once when they're trying to make decisions and come up with ideas for things. It helps everybody involved on both sides of the conversation get smarter. And this can be done in a room full of people and in meetings and one-on-one with customers. It raises the condition of everybody who's part of that conversation because you both get to understand each other's context. You learn a little bit more about where the other person's coming from. This works bottom up and top down. If you're a person working all day and your boss comes and says, I need X, you can say, yeah, and what of these things would you like me to drop off? This concept came to me from looking at a Trello board when people were telling me you need to do X, Y, Z. Pick your audience. This doesn't work great with kids all the time, right? Because this is like the 5 whys thing, and big problem management. People go, just ask why 5 times. No kid has stopped at 5 times. So you sort of go because of the thing. So once you've got your audience right, I should have put this slide before, it doesn't really matter. You start to move from instructing people how to do things to leading them to discover how to do things themselves, right? Yes, and leads them to go, have you thought of X? And then send them away to go and find more information. And then I just had this say, go. This is a really little micro behavior to take away and try. and just try and think, can I say yes and to this thing? And then Dave saw it and said, you should make a goat because I would fail for a goat.
No.